Hey everybody, welcome back to Real Good Pilates. I'm Michelle, and today I have for you a full body mat Pilates workout using a TheraBand as our prop. So you can use whatever resistance level you would like. The longer your band is, the better. We're going to do some standing work with it. So if yours is around 6 feet, that tends to work the best. All right, so let's get started. Hold your band kind of by either tail. Try to hold it so it's kind of flat and not rolled up on itself. And then you're going to step into the band. The closer your feet are together, the less the resistance will be, so just know that. You can start standing about hip width apart though. And then grab onto the tails with your thumbs pointing up, and then just stack up nice and tall. Okay, you can hold closer to the tail for less resistance, and then just take a couple of shoulder rolls here. So this feels kind of good with the resistance coming from below. You have to kind of work to draw the shoulders up away from the floor. Yes. Think about kind of softening your knees and just being in a nice comfortable stance. And then go ahead and reverse the direction of the circle. So using the traps to lift the shoulders, and then just let the band kind of pull the arm back down. Very good. All right, now just let the arms hang heavy. You're going to nod your chin and roll down one by one, rolling through your vertebrae until you're hanging all the way over your legs. Take a breath in once you get there. And then exhale, you're going to roll yourself back up, reversing that action. And when you come up onto your feet, you're going to do a bicep curl, bending and stretching the elbows, and then round back through the spine. Good. So take as much time as you need to get comfortable with this roll down. Stand up and bend the elbows. Extend to flow forward. Good. So the more comfortable and more warmed up we get, we can kind of smooth this into some swifter actions. So we're rolling down, and then as you stand up, the elbows are bending. Good. Let's do this 2 more times. Flexing forward, looking through your knees to the wall behind you. Very good. So warming up the arms, getting the spine awake. All right, now bend your elbows into that bicep curl position, and we're going to draw circles with our fists. You're going to circle the hands away from your body, and then let your fists kind of overlap as they come in. And you can alternate which hand crosses in front of the other if you'd like. If not, it won't make too much of a difference. Yes? So have your elbows close to your body, almost like you've got a newspaper between your arm and your ribs that you're pinning in. Good. So the elbows stay, and then those forearms draw your nice big circles. Very good. Now reverse and go the opposite direction. So we're passing through all these nice positions through the elbow and shoulder. Good. Have the shoulders right in line with your collarbones. Good. Now pause with your fists out to the side, kind of like in a W shape. Now shift your weight over one foot. Press into the foot that comes off of the floor, so you're using your outer thighs, and then set it back down. And then do the other side. So we're lifting a leg, pushing into the band, and then replace. Push, and then lower. Good. And for now, our arms are just staying bent, locked in by our sides. Okay. Try to keep your stacked spine and just move that tall position over the supporting foot. Yes, you might lose your balance a little bit. That's okay. But that's how we find it, is to lose it. So no big deal. All right, now if this is plenty of work for you, stick with this, or if you want to add some more effort for the shoulders, try reaching the hands a little further away from your body and keep going. They could be all the way straight, as long as you're not locking out your elbows, or somewhere in between. Yes? Good. Make sure the shoulders don't get bogged down. Keep a nice lift. Good. Let's do 3 more here. Try to get taller through the spine. Okay, now set the feet down, bend your elbows, and take a couple of squats here. Bend and press. Good, and depending on where you're gripping your band, you should have a little bit of tension, hopefully. So even here, your legs are having to push into this tension of the band. Good. Okay, now when you stand up, punch the arms to the sides, bend and lower, reach and in. So it's that same press that we found when we were lifting our single legs. Good, the higher you reach your hands, the more work it is for the shoulders. Let's do 3 more. 2, fully stack 1, and then rest your arms down. Good. Okay, now we're going to combine the squat and press with the single leg lift. So super challenging on our balance. Let's give it a try. Elbows in, squat down. Now as you're standing up and reaching the arms, the foot is levitating to the side and then come down. Alternating feet, open and close. Now most likely you're going to want to slow down quite a bit from when we were just doing the squats. Yes, there's a lot more moving parts. And you want to give yourself a moment to kind of feel that end range position. And lower. Very good. Let's do 2 more. Now to get a little tricky, pause on one side and just pump your foot out and in into the band. If it's too much on your shoulders, tuck the elbows in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now switch sides through our squat to stand, little pumps. Very good. Ooh, good. 3, 2, 1, and then one last squat. Stand up and finish. Whew, nicely done. Okay, now to challenge our shoulder rotators a little bit, we're going to cross our tails so that we're holding on to the opposite side. Okay, same grip with our thumbs up, bend the elbows to 90. Okay, now we're just going to internally rotate and externally rotate from the shoulder. Cross and open, in and out. Yeah, so my forearms are staying level to the floor, elbows keep the 90-degree bend, and then you're just letting your fists kind of overlap each other, and you can alternate which one goes on top. Good. So it's that same kind of newspaper under your arms grip. Very good. Now pause with your fists out to the side. Punch one arm up on the diagonal. Bring it in and cross both hands. Do that again. We open both, reach one arm out and in, and then overlap. Yes, open, reach, in, and cross. Out, reach. Good. So unlike when we did the reaches before, now the band is coming from further across on the opposite foot. So it's a little bit more resistance and a little bit bigger range we have going through the shoulder. Very good. One more time. Now let's do 2 arms. So we'll do the crisscross, punch both arms. Crisscross, punch both. Good. And you can start to speed this up as much as you would like. Good. Now, if you want to get the spine involved, when you punch the arms, look up and open your chest, and then return and cross. Open and lift, maybe slowing it down a little bit if you're adding the spine. Lift the heart up through the hands. Very good. 2 more times, getting that sternum open. Last time. And then go ahead and relax. Good. Okay, so moving on, we're just going to use one end of the band at a time. So set one side down on your mat. Doesn't matter which one because we'll do both. If the tension on this one side is too great, what you can do is just move your feet closer towards the end of the tail that's down on the mat, and that will give you some more slack, especially if your band is on the shorter side. You might want to do that. Okay, so now with the tail that you're holding, you're going to grab with 2 hands. You can like stack your fists, you can interlace your hands, whatever feels most natural to you. You're going to bring the fists right in line with your chest, and then you're just going to punch forward and back. That's all. Yes, so keeping the hands in line with your nose. Now this is a good kind of place to be to see if you like how much tension you've got. If it's too easy, just walk your hands further down along the band and that'll increase the work. Okay, good. Let's do this 2 more times. Feel wide across your collarbones. Now bring the hands in close to your chest and we're just going to twist from side to side. Yes, and with the hands close, this probably doesn't feel all that strenuous. Okay, we're just kind of priming up our spine for what's going to happen next. So you can breathe out when you twist away from the foot where the tension is coming from. Inhale as you rotate towards it. Okay, now if we want to make this more difficult, just take the hands further away from the body. So all the way straight would be the most challenging, or somewhere in between for a happy medium. Very good. Now your hips might move side to side a little bit. They're just not the main movers. Okay, so they're a little bit more on the stable side. The rib cage and the trunk is really what we want to move. Good, let's do 2 more. Now, rotate towards the foot where the band is pulling from. You're going to drop your arms down and bend your knees into a squat. Okay, now we're going to do kind of like a wood chopper action. So the hands are down on the one side. Now as I stand up, I'm going to pull my band on the diagonal to the opposite corner of the room and then squat and twist. So tracking the hands with the eyes. Pull and then down. So good. Reach and lower. Make that nice and fluid and dynamic. Good. Make sure the knees don't go off track. Keep them pointing front. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Drop into your deepest squat and then go ahead and stand up and relax. Good. All right, you can set this end that we've been working with down, scooch over towards it to readjust if you did that for the opposite side, and then grab your new tail. All right, so get your same grip or opposite hand on top if you did the stacking of the fists. Okay, bring the knuckles close to your body, and then just start punching and returning. Exhale and in. Good. About right at shoulder height with the arms. Good. Always coming back to breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Yes, if you start to feel like you're kind of hyperventilating, that'll kind of slow our breath down. All right, now bring the knuckles close and start twisting side to side. Good. Not too difficult, right? So just kind of warming up this movement pattern. Good. Exhaling when you twist away from the foot where the tight band is coming from. Okay, now start to move the hands further from your body and just test out. Yes, if the arms are fully straight, does that put too much tension on the neck? If so, you can bend the elbows a little. Very good. Feel those obliques connecting, kind of wringing your spine out like a rag. All right, you guys, let's do 2 more. Less hips, more ribs and shoulders twisting. Now, you're going to turn towards the side of the foot that has the tight band, drop your arms, and send the knees forward into a squat. Now stand up and pull to the upper diagonal and return. Exhale. And then inhale. Good. Make it a nice, swift, continuous movement up and down. So good. Drive the feet into the floor as we pull in opposition. Good. Last 2. And last one. Ah, very nice. Okay. Go ahead and step off of the band, and we're going to come down to our mat. So coming down to our mat, you're going to hold your tail kind of like a U shape, holding on either side with your hands. Come up to your knees and step a foot to the center of the U shape of your band. So for me, I'm going to do my right foot to the middle. Okay, now step that foot back so I'm back on my 2 knees. Okay, now pinching the band between your thumb and your pointer fingers, you're going to place your palms down on the mat. So that pins the tails securely to the floor. So we're nice and grounded, okay? And then the more flat and wide the band is on your foot, the less chance it's gonna roll up and move around, all right? So once we're here, spread your fingers out, get your spine to a long line, and then take some cat and cow stretches. So breathe out and flex, head and tail, and then inhale, stretch up the opposite way. Yes, and just flow through this. You can take it as slow or as fast as you would like. Okay. Now, the band isn't doing a whole lot right now, but we do have that kind of tactile feedback of it pulling on the foot. So you can give a little bit of intention of kind of kicking that foot back into the band to connect to the back of the leg a little bit. Okay, let's do this one more time. Very good. Now lengthen your spine out to neutral. So I've got my right foot in the band. So I'm going to take my opposite hand, which for me is my left hand. I'm going to take the band off the floor and make this hand into a fist. Okay, I'm going to set my fist down onto the ground, and then I'm going to do some overhead arm raises, front to back. So I lift to shoulder height and then tap the knuckles down. Yes, and I'm not really putting weight on it. I'm just kind of touching and lifting. Good. Now this is a lot harder than it looks, being in this 3-point kneeling position and then having the resistance on the arm. There's lots of potential for us to lose our alignment. So really ground into the floor. Let's do 2 more. Good. Now open up your hand back to flat. Press it onto the tail. And now we're going to go with some leg presses. So the leg that has the band, you're going to hover your knee off of the floor and kick it up to spine and hip height, and then hover it back to bend. Kick and then in. Good. Push and in. Now having the resistance, there's some potential for the back to lose stability. So really feel the abs drawing up into the spine from below, almost like a corset to kind of support that abdominal wall. 2 more. Good. Now last one, set your knee down, and now we'll do arm and leg together. So opposite arm, opposite leg, the arm we already practiced with. So here we go. Tap the knuckles of the left hand, hover the right knee off of the floor. Now as you exhale, take this slow. You're going to punch in opposition as you kick the leg back and then come in to reset. Very good. Kick and reach. And then in. So good. So we actually have that band to physically pull against to feel that up and down press of the arm and the leg. So good. Couple more times. Back and forth. Let's do 2 more. Good. We can do it. Now pause with the arm and the leg straight, and you're just going to tap the toes and the knuckles down and up. Lower and lift. Good. Keep the back strong. Move the hip and the shoulder. Last 2. Last 1. And then bend the knee. Come in. Whoo, and then sit back. Very good. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So come up, reset with the band in front of you. Get it back open again. Okay, step your new foot. For me, that's left to the middle of the band. Pinch your thumb and forefinger, step the foot back, and then place the hands on the mat. Okay, now you can always scoot the hands higher up on the band to get more resistance, or closer the tails for less. You could also do this without the band at all if it gets too intense. All right, so let's do a couple cat and cow stretches just for the sake of being even and to kind of bring us back to our breath. Good. Feel how the shoulder blades mobilize in and out to help the spine move. Very good. Okay, now lengthen to neutral, head and tail, reaching away. Make a fist with your new arm. For me, it's the right. And then we're going to raise it up and down. Yes, now this is not an easy position. If you're feeling a little restricted in the shoulders, try taking your hand a little bit wider. That might give you some more room. Okay, think of leading up with the thumb side of the hand. Very good. Keep the shoulders and the hips nice and even. 2 more. Last one. Okay, open the hand, Press back into it, and now we'll go into our leg reaches. So hover the banded foot, square off the hips, and then start kicking and then returning. So you have to kick the heel up so that when the knee is straight, the leg is in a perfect long line with the spine. Good. Parallel, kicking it right in line with the hip socket. Very good. There's lots of moving parts and lots of things going on with the band. Yes. Exhale out. Let's do 2 more. All right, last one. Okay, place the knee down. Now let's put the 2 together. So make your fist, opposite arm as leg, hover the knee, and then we take our time until we feel secure. Reach north and south, arm and leg, and then return. Reach. Now, if you don't need to set the knuckles down, you can drop the arm as close down as you would like. You can kind of drag it more under the shoulder. Kick, and then pull. Good. 3, 2 more, and then we'll add the tap and the lifts. Last one. Pause with the straight arm and leg, and we lower and lift. Lower and lift. Kick that shin into the floor. 3, 2, 1, and then return to your all fours. Whew. Very good. Okay, take the band off of your foot, and we're gonna lay on our backs to get in a little bit of abdominal work with some hip stability and mobility, which is gonna feel really nice, okay? So we're gonna take one foot, I'm gonna do my right foot, into the band, okay? Right in the middle. Now, crisscross the tails so that your foot is in there nice and securely. And then lay down on your back. Okay, so take your left leg or your free leg long on the mat. Okay, have kind of like a medium, easy tension on the band. You don't want too much or too little. Somewhere right in between to give our hip a little bit of support. So once you've got a good grip, bend your elbows and place them down on the mat next to you. Okay, so you're gonna push your long leg into the ground. You can soften one or both of your knees if you need to make this comfortable, okay? So you're gonna ground your pelvis into the mat, push the back of your thigh into the floor, and then you're just gonna start drawing. You can go in whatever direction you'd like. The biggest circle you can with your foot without your body moving around. So that's the hardest part, yes, is to get that mobility through the hip while maintaining stability in the rest of the body, okay? But if we're able to achieve that, we'll get tons of work for the obliques, for the back of the leg pushing into the mat, and then our hip that's moving really gets to do the work, which is what we want, okay? Let's do this one more time. See if your circle can get a little bit bigger each time. Now pause at the top and go the other way. Breathe in, let your leg fall to one side. Exhale, circle it around. Good, and you can let your leg turn in as it goes across your body, turn out as it goes off to the side, and that'll increase the size of our circle. Very good. So this should feel good and feel kind of stretchy on the hip while feeling strong and controlled everywhere else. Very good. Okay, now pause with the leg straight up to the ceiling. Now we're going to try this one more time, but with the arms reaching either up to the ceiling or back behind us. This is much more challenging because the arms have potential to move. Okay, so let's see how we do. When in doubt, you can always bring the elbows down if you need to. So arms up or a little bit back. Breathe in and start your circle. I'm going to go across my midline first, then out to the side and up. Whew, and you'll feel right away how much more challenging this is. So A, we don't have the arms down to help us stay strong anymore. And then there's all these different variables of the pull that can happen on the band. Yes, you want to lock your shoulders into place. 2 more. Whew, feel the back of the bottom leg and the abdominals. Now just reverse and go the other way. And you may need to make your circle smaller and or slower with this new variation. Good. Whatever you have to do to accomplish the goal of the exercise, which is to mobilize the hip and stabilize everywhere else. Last two. Very good. Last one. Whew. Okay, now reach the leg directly up to the ceiling. I'm going to flip my grip. So instead of thumbs up, I'm going to turn my hand over and pinch onto the band with my thumb and my pointer finger. Okay, so it's almost like a hundreds position of the hand, which is convenient. That's because that's exactly what we're going to do next. So clamp onto the band. The higher up you grip, the harder it'll be on the arms. So keeping the band crossed, you want to pull the hands down till they're about around your hip joint. Okay, reach the leg as vertical as you can, and now you're going to start taking some pumps of the hands, inhaling for 5 counts, going into hundreds, exhaling for 5 counts. Good. If this is uncomfortable, you can bend one or both knees. Okay, listen to your body. Now, this is kind of an unconventional position to do hundreds in. It requires a ton of deep hip flexion and a lot of stability to keep the leg vertical. All right, now let's exhale and flex the spine, lifting the head for 5 counts and then returning it to the mat for 5 counts. Good. Lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also hold with a fisted grip and pull down with the pinky side of your hands if that feels better. Okay, 2 more. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, 2, 3, 4. Last time, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now hold at the top, curl higher and push the hands lower, and then lay yourself down. Whew. That is a lot of ab and hip flexors. Good. Okay, let's try that all on the other side. So put your new foot in the center of the band, crisscross your tails, and then you pick if you want to do flat foot or long leg. Okay, so kind of taking it back to the basic level of our leg circle, elbows on the mat. When you breathe in, let your leg fall across your body, and then exhale, circle it around and up. Good. So this is requiring a lot of hip mobility in all directions, right? Internal and external rotation, as well as flexion and extension through all these movements. Good. If you're having a hard time keeping a neutral spine, bending the knees a little bit will help. Good. Now let's reverse and go the other way. Really find that nice smooth movement quality. And it really feels nice. The flex band is giving us a lot of support. It's almost kind of taking on a lot of the role of our hip flexor. So for now, we can ease up some of the hip flexor work. Good. Now pause with the leg up. Pick where you'd like to challenge yourself with the arms, either straight up or behind you, and then start your circles again. Ooh, good. Inhale to start the circle. Exhale to finish. Good. Try to keep those arms still in space. That takes a ton of body awareness to be able to move the leg, but not the arm. And a ton of control. Good. Heavy ribs into the mat. Now let's reverse and go the other way, around, and then through and down. Yes, and you adjust the circle as much as you need to be successful here. Good. Stay connected through the abdominals. Last 2. And last one. Whew. Very good. Okay, let's go into our tricky set of hundreds. Flip your grip so the palm is facing down or in if you want to do fists. Open the shoulders, bring the hands close to the mat, and then start pumping here. Yes, you want to feel like your bottom heel is driving towards the wall in front of you, and your top heel is trying to reach up and touch the ceiling. Good. Now, if and when you're ready, nod the chin, curl your upper back into a flexion for 5 counts, and then release and lower for 5 counts. Good. So now we've got more of us off the floor. Lots more moving parts to control. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Keep the arms nice and tight and crisp. Good. Let's do this 2 more times. That's so much work for the hip. Good. Last time here. Now roll up and stay. Hold your body up. Flex a little more. Push the hands harder. And then lay your body down. Whew. Awesome job. Okay, roll to your side. We are going to finish with a little side leg series with the help and or the toughness of using the band. So lay on your side and you're going to hook whatever leg is on top. That foot is going to go into the band. Okay, you're going to grip the tails together and hold both of them in the top hand. Okay, so lay on your side. You can either hold your head in the hand or lay it on the arm long, whatever feels good. Both knees are going to be bent. Now, here's the trick. You want the tails to come over top of the top thigh / knee, and then you're going to take your palm and push to pin the band to the floor, kind of like we did on all fours, okay? Except now this one hand has both, so it's going to really challenge our pec and shoulder on the top side. Okay, so hand pushes to the floor. In opposition, our bottom side of our waist is going to pull up a little. Okay, take a breath in, leave your heels together, and we're going to do some clamshells or external rotation of the hip, pushing up into the band. Okay, now if the band overlaps more at your knee, that's going to be a little bit more intense. If it comes higher towards your hip, it's not as difficult. Okay, so kind of find what works for you, but closer to the knee is a little bit more challenging. Good. So we get the upper body of that hand pushing into the floor to keep the band secure. Good. Okay, now when the knee lifts, let's also float the feet off of the floor and then come back down. It actually decreases the the band tension a little bit. I'm so used to talking about the reformer. Band tension and down. Lift and lower. Very good. 3 more. 2. Now pause with the feet floating and hold and do a couple more reps with just the top knee. Ooh, and that bottom inner thigh has to work too. Good for 3, for 2, for 1, and then relax yourself down. Whew. So nice. Okay, now same position of the hand, but we're going to straighten the legs. So kick them out long. They can come slightly in front of your body if that helps you balance, and then replace the hand to the mat. Okay, now we're going to do some long leg lifts. So top leg is going to float just about to hip height and then come back down. Exhale and lower. Good. So it feels a little bit different. Yes, not so intense as when we had the knees tucked up. Kind of a different line of pull for the hip. Good. Feel like you're gliding that foot out to go up to find the length. All right, now pause with the leg up and hold. The bottom leg is going to lift to meet it. Both are going to come down together. So 3 movements. 1, we lift. 2, the bottom leg comes. Exhale to return. Good. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Chin back. So you're not curling in on yourself. Up, up, down. Very good. Try not to move the waistline. Just the hip joints. Good. Now let's go both legs, lifting and lowering together. Up and down. Lift and lower. So all this good work for the inner and the outer thighs. Good. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Good. Now if it isn't already, take your arm out long, the bottom one, palm down. Now we're going to add a side bend to this double leg lift. So we get a little bit of our obliques going as well. So we push the hand into the floor, we float the legs, and we glide our bottom arm in slightly. So my ribs and my armpit come off the floor, and then we return down. Good. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Yeah, you want to get this nice kind of evenly bowed shape in the body. So it's not too much leg or too much body lifting. It's kind of equal top and bottom. Good, 2 more. And then we're going to make it 1 notch harder. So now lay down, bring the hand back to your head, point your elbow forward, and we're going to not use the supporting arm. So we're going to hover the whole shoulder and elbow off the mat and then rest. Exhale, lift the elbow. Whew. So now it's all the top arm and the waistline to lift and lower. So good. 2 more. Keep the length through the neck. Last one. And then relax. Ooh, very nice. Okay, let's do that all on the other side. So switch feet and switch hands. So start with your knees bent for our clamshells. You can decide how close you want to hold to your foot. That will make it harder. Okay, lift the waistline, drape the band over the knee, and then press the tails into the mat. Okay, so we press into the floor, we draw the waistline up, and then we externally rotate to increase the pull into the band. So good. So lots of elements going on with the pressure of the arm, the rotation of the hip, and that consistent lift of the waist. Okay, now let's add in the bottom inner thigh a little bit to float the feet up. My heels stay together, the feet just leave the mat and then return. So we open and lift, close and lower. Good, up. It makes the pressure a little bit less intense, but adds more body parts into the mix. So good, you guys. Keep the heels tight together, almost like you're squeezing out a sponge between them. 2. Now pause with the heels up and then continue with just the top leg. You can go a little faster if you're able. Down, up, down. So good. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come on down and rest. Whew. Okay, straight legs. Kick out, maybe slightly forward of your body. Okay, here we go. Push back into the mat. Lift and lower the top leg a few times, keeping parallel. Good. Up. So the lift of the leg shouldn't affect the connection of the waist, pulling away from the ground. All right, now lift up and pause. Bottom leg gathers up to meet the top ankle and then lower. Good. Really get the heels fully together and down. Up, up, and lower. Good. Push harder into that hand as the foot leaves the mat to kind of take the weight off the leg. Very good. Now let's do both legs together. Lift, both, lower, both. Good. It doesn't have to be a big lift. More important to keep the connection. Good. Up and down. 3 more. 2 and 1. Very good. Okay. Bottom arm long. Palm is down. We add the side bend with support of the arm. So we drag the hand in and then glide it away. Very good. Finding that equal lateral flexion, head and feet. Kind of matching at the top and down. Good. Flex and lower. Get that rib and hip closer together. Very good. 2 more. And last one. Whew. Okay, last time. Head cups the ear, head cups the ear, hand cups the ear, almost. Elbows forward, chin is back. Okay, here we go. Exhale, it's more load for the abdominals and for that top arm, and then release. Good. So push heavy into the hand to make the upper and lower body light. Easier to take them off. And down. It's okay if you don't lift up quite as high with less support. It's all good. Just do what you can. Good. 2 more. And last one. Whew. So nicely done. Okay, come on up and we are going to take just a quick little cool down all together. So you can set your band off to the side. Sit crisscross or however is comfortable for you. You could put your legs out in front. Set your fingertips on the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale, blow out like you're blowing out a candle. Slide your arms forward. Let your head hang heavy. And then just take a deep breath or two here. Inhale and exhale. Try to relax towards the legs. Last time. And then roll yourself back up tall. Okay, now rotate to one side, kind of frame your knee with your 2 hands. And now as we go forward, we're going to slide on the diagonal. So exhale, nose towards the one knee. Take your 2 big breaths in and out here. Good. Think of that inside hand reaching a little bit farther. And then slide yourself up and go to the other side. Cross over the new knee, sit tall, exhale. And then in this twisted up position, it's kind of hard to breathe and get a big full breath pattern, but do your best. Breathe into those tight spaces and then bring yourself on up. And with that, we are all done. Thank you so much for joining me for today's workout. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.